Welcome to Coast Sports. Today we're doing quick 1 minute reaction to each NFL game, so let's get right into it. Saints versus Jaguars. My key takeaway for the Saints is that Derek Carr needs to play better if the Saints want to be contenders in the NFC South. My key takeaway for the Jaguars is that this team can win a Super Bowl. Bucks Falcons. Of the Buccaneers, my key takeaway is that Baker Mayfield is not their long-term solution at quarterback. I think I kind of already knew that, but this game confirms it. Key takeaway for the Falcons, Desmond Ridder. Maybe he is the long-term answer at quarterback. I wouldn't say it's a key takeaway yet, but it is. That's the best thing I can see from this game. The Falcons are currently leading the NFC South at 4-3. Lions against the Ravens. Key takeaway from this one, the Lions maybe don't buy the hype as much as we did last week. For the Ravens, it's very simple. Lamar Jackson, he is an MVP contender right now. He is an MVP candidate, and he has these Ravens playing really good football. Bears over Raiders. The key takeaway, Tyson Bagent. There might be something there. Maybe it's just the fact that it was the Raiders. Maybe it's the fact that Brian Hoyer hasn't won a game in, I believe, 6 years. Why is he still in the NFL? But Tyson Bagent actually looked pretty good, and the Bears 2-5. Giants Commanders. Key takeaway in this one is that the Commanders still have a lot of work to do. Sam Howell, I think he has a little bit of Kirk Cousins in him, but he still has a long way to go if he wants to prove he is a true NFL starter. Meanwhile, key takeaway for the Giants, Tyrod Taylor and the Giants defense are back. Last year, the Giants defense was really good. It was a huge part of their success, and maybe they are back right now. I think the Giants could reel off a few more wins here and maybe get a slightly more competitive record. Browns Colts. The key takeaway in this one is the refs really did bail out the Browns. Obviously, a win is a win, but when the win has to come on a touchdown that was barely a touchdown, I'm not so sure. The Browns are 4-2. I'm not sure how legit a 4-2 team that they are, but they are 4-2. Key takeaway for the Colts, Gardner Minshew. He can ball out. Minshew outplayed PJ Walker. Minshew was probably a top 10 quarterback this week. He looked really good. Bills Patriots. Key takeaway here is the Bills' inconsistencies are going to hurt them this season. I still think the Bills are going to win the division. I think they're going to find a way. They're only a game behind Miami right now, but the Bills' inconsistencies are going to cost them in the playoffs. Steelers Rams. The key takeaway here is that don't mess with Mike Tomlin. Tomlin always wins off of a bye. He won again off of the bye. I still don't view the Steelers. They're 4-2. I don't think they're a playoff team, but they are 4-2. Give them some credit. Key takeaway from this one is Patrick Mahomes is incredible. The Chiefs obviously dropping 4 touchdowns, 31-17 in a very comfortable win. Mahomes, he is now in front of the MVP race as far, and in my book, he is the MVP right now. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, the key takeaway, I'm not sure if Justin Herbert is necessarily worth the money that he is getting right now, because he has kind of started to struggle recently this season. He's out of my top 5 as on the quarterback index. Justin Herbert, yeah, not as good maybe as we think. Packers Broncos. Key takeaway here for the Packers, Jordan Love, I don't think he's the answer. He has now failed at 3 out of 4 opportunities to get a comeback win. He did come back against the Saints, but all he needed was a field goal to beat the Falcons. All he needed was a field goal to beat Denver, and he did need a touchdown, or he needed a field goal to tie the Raiders. All 3 of those instances, Jordan Love failed in the 4th quarter, needing just a field goal. That's not a very great track record to have if you are the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love. He needs to play better. Seahawks against the Cardinals. Key takeaway in this one, the Seahawks are not as good as we think they are. They barely beat the Cardinals. They won by 10, but it felt like they really escaped with a win. They turned the ball over 3 times. Geno Smith continues to play really, really bad football. And it did not look very pretty for the Seahawks, but they did win in a low-scoring, ugly game. Eagles versus Dolphins. The key takeaway for this one, for the Eagles, yeah, this team is a legit Super Bowl contender. Obviously, they had some close wins earlier in the season, but this is a team that's going to find a way to win. They proved that again. They demonstrated that. I think the Eagles could easily win a Super Bowl this season. I have them at number 4 on my power rankings right now, but I view them easily as Super Bowl contenders. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, the key takeaway, they still have some work to do. And I know, that I was warning. I was giving you guys the warning signs on the Dolphins, and here they are. Here's the warning signs. maybe they're just a flashy team that can't keep up with the great teams. We're going to see. We're going to see them against New England next week. I want to see the Dolphins bounce back and really crush the Patriots, who they usually split with. So I actually might pick the Patriots to get their second straight upset win in a row and beat the Dolphins. However, if the Dolphins can show up next week and crush New England, that's going to give me a lot more confidence in them going forward. I'm worried that maybe the inconsistency could get to them and the Dolphins could suffer into a trap. But that is my current, and I still think the Dolphins are a good team, but they're not in that elite category right now because I think they're a really flashy team. They just don't have all the meat on the bones. So that is my 1 minute reactions, and my 1 minute prediction for Monday Night Football is I think the 49ers are going to ball out and Kirk continues to not be able to play in primetime, so I have the 49ers beating the Vikings on Monday Night Football. That's the predictions. That's the quick 1 minute takeaways from every single game this season, this week in Week 7 of the NFL. Comment down below, what are your key takeaways? What did I get right? And if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. We are a brand new sports YouTube channel here on the Coast to Coast Sports, part of the NW Sports Media Network, so please leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe if you like the content. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.